All right, how's everyone doing? I'm Rich CELENZA. Thanks for tuning in to the Rich CELENZA Show. WTF are you talking about? So what I want to call today's podcast is don't let social media control your life. So you're going to probably be like, yeah, no shit, Rich, it doesn't control my life anyways. I could care less about social media, blah, blah, blah. If you feel that way, God bless. I'm with you. But I also am going to call a lot of people out on their bullshit because I think, I see, and I believe that most people don't realize how much social media affects their lives and their moods and a lot of things they may be doing and the time they're wasting too as well. There's all these different types of things, especially when it comes to, say, Facebook. I talk about this with my girlfriend all the time. Most people I know, the first thing they'll say is, I hate Facebook, or Facebook sucks. I don't like Facebook. But as you know, there's billions of people on Facebook. You may even be one of them. So I find it really funny how everybody hates something that they're also on, or even if they're not posting things, they're watching what other people are doing, and I'm here to call you out on your bullshit with that one. A lot of people, same with Instagram, right? They dig Instagram, hate Facebook. Again, okay, that's cool too. And then you have other people that are kind of more business orientated who are pro LinkedIn and maybe have a Instagram page, don't care for Facebook, or they have all three, but they're more kind of just more LinkedIn type of people. And then you have Twitter people, the people that love Twitter, right? And then you got the Snapchat people, and then there's what else is out there? Who gives a shit? But my point being is, one, I think we spend a lot of time scrolling through and wasting a lot of time. And again, if that's something you want to do, I'm all for it, right? You can do whatever the hell you want to do. It doesn't affect me. But I do think a lot of people don't recognize or acknowledge when they're going through scrolling, seeing what other people are doing, how it's affecting them, good or bad, right? And I also don't think a lot of people realize what they're posting, how that affects them as well. If they're not getting the comments they like, or they're not getting the likes they like, or they're just not getting the response they thought they would get. And I think that takes a toll on them emotionally, right? Or on the flip side, they also start judging others because of the reaction that they're not giving them. So you hear that all the time with social media, is like they'll put up a photo and be like, yeah, nobody likes my shit. F them. I'm not going to like their stuff, right? Or can you believe they said this about this? Or they're posting things, right, on the flip side, it could be political, religious, whatever, and you're actually getting pissed at them about what they're posting, their beliefs, or interpreting it. You may be misinterpreting it. You may be taking it a lot more serious, or you may be getting offended, or whatever that case may be. You got to grow up. And I get a lot of times, I see people post things that I may be like, you're a jagoff. But if I know them and I'm friends with them, I'm going to give them always the benefit of the doubt. That's a post, okay? Or they're just putting something up there. I'm not going to unfriend them or get in an argument with them because of it could be political again, religion, whatever the case may be. It could be a team that they like, or they're saying something bad about my team if it's a sports team, making fun of it, or whatever the case may be, because this is my theory a lot of times in life. I learned this at a very young age. It was kind of weird. Is I acknowledge that a lot of times when people write something, right, we never know the tone they're writing it in. So if you read something in a newspaper, I realized when I was younger, and you just read it, whatever mood that you were in, I think a lot of times that's how you interpret it. So if you're in a good mood and somebody said something, you'd be like, oh, that's kind of funny, even though it's offensive. That's funny. But if you're in a bad mood, you read it, you're like, this is offensive. Who is this asshole, right? You go the other way with it. Because I don't think we like to admit that our moods dictate a lot of our lives, or the way we feel at certain moments may not feel that way later. But you hear about different people when they write certain things, they're like, I didn't mean it like that at all. I meant it like this. You just took it that way. And I think a lot of posts that people are posting, I look at it the same way. I don't look at the post, dictating who that person is. Now, if it's really far-fetched, if it's something against children or animals or something that's going to make me nuts, then I'm going to have a problem with you. I'm not going to lie. But if it's something, like I said earlier, political or religious or whatever the case may be, sports-orientated or whatever that, I'm going to always give my friends, especially if I know them, the benefit of the doubt. Now, if this is a friend or I'm with somebody, not with somebody, but if I don't know this person that are posting shit that's I don't agree with, then what the hell are you friends with them for starters? Because you really don't even know this person. So how would you really get a good feel on what they truly are? But I think for the most part, a lot of us are friends with a lot of people out there. And we have to understand that, they have their own beliefs, regardless. And they don't always have to match up with yours. Too bad if they don't. That doesn't not make them a friend, right? And that could be a colleague, a family member, whatever the case may be. So what? Grow up. They have their own, ways of thinking and doing things that have nothing to do with you, right? And you just got to understand that, life goes on, too. With social media, the one thing I learned, and I have a Facebook page, and I'm one to say I like Facebook. I actually love Facebook. Sometimes I'd be like, F Facebook, because I just got tired of the same shit people posting all the time. And then I was like, I'm that kind of asshole. I keep posting the same thing all the time. Because I travel all the time, I'm like, how many times am I going to put up one of my favorite restaurants or a picture of food? This goes years ago. How many times am I going to post me being at a certain place, trying to make myself look cooler than everyone else? And I didn't even mean it in that way, but I'm sure if you looked at it and being like, oh, Rich is here, he travels here or there. We get it, you travel, dude. We don't travel as much as you. And I even looked at myself saying that, what am I trying? I'm not trying to show off. I'm just trying to show you all my favorite restaurants or places I go to all over North America. But I can see when someone says, hey, you're kind of showing off. I'd be like, yeah, you know what? You're kind of right. But it's still me. I could still do whatever the hell I want to do. And if I offend one person or 50 or somebody doesn't care, then either unfriend me or don't look at my shit, right? And that goes for me as well. I was always kind of like, geez, look at this person. How many times are they going to post a picture of them running in a marathon or training for a marathon? And then I thought back and said, well, that's what inspires them, asshole. Who are you to knock that? So, I had to go deep into myself and say, they're not doing that to show off to you, Rich, that they're working out or, maybe more than you or doing something that you're not interested in. So these are things that took me a while to learn about myself, and I think we all should kind of sit back and learn what our behavior is sometimes regarding social media. Now, I'm a weirdo. I really like Facebook for the kids. Anybody puts a picture of their babies, their kids, their grandkids, I like it. That's what I like. That's why I think I'm on Facebook, because the truth is I have a massive family. And Facebook was really a way for me to see what's going on. And I have family all over North America, not Canada. Let me get some water here. And now that I'm turning 50, I have all these different family members that are becoming grandparents. I mean, I'm old enough to become a grandparent. So not only do I get to see all my cousins, I get to see my cousins' kids, I get to see some of my aunts, great uncles, and I'm connecting with even other family members. My mother's cousin just reached out. She connected through me, and I think because I have a pretty decent size just presence online because of my films, and then I do my YouTube channel, and I do this confidence program, and I'm doing a podcast, so people are able. I get reached out from a lot of different people saying, hey, I know your father, or hey, I know your mother, or hey, can you connect me with all these people? And of course, I love that, but I first reach out to whoever they want to connect with to make sure that's cool. But I think that's an amazing tool to have that I've been able to have on Facebook. I'm not an Instagram guy, and everybody always wondered what's going on with me and Instagram, because I always was obsessed with taking a lot of videos years ago, and then photos. I take pretty decent photos, most people would say, and that's kind of what I do for a living, is photos, and I do this other thing with a camera called a Matterport. And you would have thought I would have loved Instagram with photos. I just couldn't take on two of them. And I do have an Instagram account, and my girlfriend runs it for me. And I even have people reach out on, I just had a guy reach out to me. I guess he heard about my videos through my gym, and he said, Rich, I'd like to meet up with you. She hit me back. It said he's local, he's got kids, and he looks cool, and he works out at your gym. He's heard you in the sauna. Guys asking regarding videos and stuff. So I said, yeah, of course, if I'm in town. I think that's also an amazing tool. In LinkedIn, I have a lot of people on there. I have like 6,000, I think, connections on there. And I really do love LinkedIn. And I love everybody posting things on there. I am getting kind of a little exhausted from LinkedIn. Just, I don't know what it is, but I love it that you could reach out to people in a business platform and be able to go back and forth with them. There's no bullshit around it. It's not like someone saying you look cute or you're sexy or, or whatever the case may be. At least I don't see that on LinkedIn. And I like that about it. It's just kind of straightforward. And, I looked at now starting my YouTube channel, social media again. Like I share those on my pages. I don't share my YouTube video a lot of times on my personal Facebook page because that's really for family members and friends. I share it on this public page I have on Facebook. I share it on Twitter and LinkedIn. So, yeah, and as far as Twitter goes, I don't follow a ton of people. They're more going to be people that like to talk about sports, some of my favorite comedians. It's probably a smaller list. I don't know how many people I have following me. I don't even really care. And back to like having a social media presence and even my podcast is I just do it for fun. And I know a lot of people love to do it for business, and it's geared, a lot of people use Facebook, Instagram, or maybe LinkedIn or Twitter, whatever the case. It's so business driven. And when I did things in my past to market online, I realized that I just don't have it in me. Now, maybe I should get somebody else to do that for me, especially when I want to, or when maybe I'm at a point where I got to start taking things to the next level as far as marketing my Mastering Self-Confidence program or marketing my podcast, say for instance, or my YouTube channel. But I almost look at that as an escape and something fun. And I don't know, I see a lot of people that get obsessed with marketing on social media, and that's where it's at. And most of those people I know are like entrenched in it. And again, it kind of makes them either really happy or really sad, because I think sometimes it exposes people. Obviously, it does expose people regarding their product. So a lot of people think they have an amazing product that they created, and they're going to go on social media, and then they're going to market it, and everyone's going to love it. Everyone's going to purchase things from them, go to their website, and so on. And usually, for the most part, most people collapse. It starts off a little hot, and then it just deteriorates, or it just slowly but surely just, people get sick of hearing about your book. So I made a couple books. I didn't get obsessed with marketing them. Probably should have. But I did pretty decent on my books as far as getting exposure on them. Same with my films. I got out of it kind of what I wanted. I would have liked to make more money. In the future, I may do better sales. But I didn't let social media destroy me. Like, I made one book, and I didn't make a ton of money on my book. But it made me, I made another book, and I didn't let social media stop me from doing that. And I think a lot of people that do create things, they'll create something once and either not get what they wanted out of it or spend a lot of money marketing on it and get very aggravated and kind of quit too early. And that's kind of why I wanted to make this podcast, is to let you know, it's never, don't take a lot of social media too serious, and don't, again, let it dictate your future. And you got a lot inside of you, and I tell people all the time, you'd be shocked at what you could create. But it's just one component of marketing, and I think everybody only looks at, say, social media, and if you don't make it on social media, you can't make it, right? And I think sometimes that's ridiculous. A lot of people do a lot of amazing things locally, and also your timing may just be off a little bit as far as social media goes, as far as marketing goes. Something that's you may have created now may not be that hot, or just didn't catch fire, but then maybe a year or two, down the line. Also, you got to realize you're almost sometimes one tweet or one share away from something really helping you blow up. One One person who has a lot of followers or one person that has a lot of connections can see something you're doing and share it, and it could be a game changer. So again, you just don't know with social media. You have no control over it, the truth. Now, if you're a multimillionaire and you have tons of money to market on, social media, that's a whole different type of thing. God bless you. Keep it going. You hire companies. They know exactly what to do. They know how to get the eyeballs. They know the exact markets to market it to. And I get all that. And God bless you. Keep it going. Do whatever you got to do. But as far as the average Joe out there, if you're posting things, and here's actually one more thing I was going to say that I think should be just said is, if you're someone out there who kind of posts the same thing over and over again without a lot of changes, don't be hurt when you don't get a lot of likes, because I think people see it and they just get exhausted of liking the same thing over and over again. And that doesn't mean that they dislike what you're doing. They just kind of already have liked what you're doing, if that makes sense. So I do a YouTube video on a lot of different gyms I go to throughout North America, and I was doing gym tours. And at the beginning, I was getting a lot of people loving them. And a lot of them were LA Fitness, 24 Hour Fitness, Good Life Fitness, whatever the case may be. And then you could see them kind of weeding out. And I'm like, yeah, because a lot of the gyms look the same. Even though I'm showing you a different gym, but, it's the same thing. And I would probably do the same. And I see this with a lot of people, especially when they work out, they show you different things they're doing working out, right? Once you kind of go through the gamut and you've seen their shtick, right, then you got to realize, you need a new following or different people to see you. So that is definitely something to consider. So you can't always just keep marketing to the same people about the same type of thing you're doing and expect different results again. Try to expand on that and try different things. And I know we're always supposed to stick within our brand. And I think that's a great thing. Don't get me wrong, but I'll tell you something, like, how many times can I see someone talking about the same thing or showing me the same type of stuff they keep doing? After a while, I think it just exhausts us. So if you're one of those people that are posting the same type of thing, and especially year after year, a lot, like Facebook's 10 years old now, so a lot of, if you became friends years and years ago, you're kind of exhausted from them. And it's not their fault, and it's not your fault for just being exhausted from them, but that's all they really know sometimes, and that's all they do. So that's just something to consider as well with social media. I was supposed to actually tell you about how social media, don't let it control your life, and I'm just giving you now my perspective on all these different types of things. But again, back to the benefit of the doubt, give your friends or your connections a lot of leeway, because that's their life. Respect it, and that's just the way it is in life. And I'm going to wrap this up, I think, with I get a lot of people want to post things on social media to kind of prove that they're living some incredible life, which they may or may not be. But I think a lot of those people are bullshitting themselves because they're alone. And I get it. I get that, I'm alone a majority of the time when I travel, when I post things or whatever. And actually, you're gonna get exactly who I am on every perspective on what I'm doing. Sometimes lately, the last few years, I did want to just kind of get sharper with my photos, just because I was sick of photos, posting kind of whatever about myself. So I went through I wanted to have cooler looking photos of me. And now I'm right back to not giving a shit. What you're going to get exactly who I am, what I'm doing, from my podcast, YouTube, to social media. But back to the person, I think, kind of pretending they're something they're not. You can do that. But I think the more honest you are on your approach to your life, and just the better off you're going to be. Now, that doesn't mean you got to sit up here and start posting all your ups and downs, all your emotions, and all these type of things. And you can do that if you want. But for the most part, I think if people will just say, this is exactly who I am, and this is just my life. And I think for the most part, a lot of us want to express how we feel or what we're going through. I find it quite interesting how society is always worried about protecting their privacy. And then on the flip side with social media, how much you want to expose of your life. It's kind of almost bipolar. It doesn't kind of make sense, right? And here's the deal, I think, for the most part, I think at least with most males, I don't care what age, life's kind of simple. Some have really incredible jobs. Maybe if you're in the entertainment business, right? You're maybe making movies, because I've been there. Or you're writing a book or something, or you're doing, whatever, you're traveling, whatever. That's great stuff. I get it because I lived it, right? But a lot of us are living just really ordinary, kind of cool lives. And there's a lot of things that you may not be posting that would really be probably pretty cool. You don't realize it because you're kind of mainly caught up on posting stuff that you think others want to see. Or if you're in a relationship, it's always got to be pictures of you and whoever you're with, guy or girl or whatever the case may be. Or it's always got to be you at a party. And again, if you want to do that, it's great. Or you always accomplishing something or doing something super cool. I get all those things. But the truth is, I think more people would be interested in knowing things about you that others don't know about. And I don't mean dirty things. I'm just saying it could be something as simple as saying, hey, instead of this weekend posting something about you toasting to wine with your girlfriends or with your buddies at maybe a sporting event, which I like that. Maybe you're at a Barnes & Noble's reading a book, right? Or maybe you're learning how to cook something in your house or a certain recipe. Or you're... instead of you may be traveling, instead of saying, hey, I'm over here, doing a beach shot that you've maybe taken 50 times in front of a beach, you're like, hey, I am doing something that's very unique here that nobody else usually ever does. It could be going to a certain restaurant or going to whatever the case may be. Just doing unique things, I think, is quite interesting. And I think either a lot of people don't want to express that or show people that they're different than what their identity is, the one they're always showing, I guess you could say, on social media, to keep things interesting. At least that's my opinion. And that's what I started to do because I kept doing things on social media or being seen a certain way that I really wasn't always like that. So for a while, I was, traveling all over the country, and I would take shots of California, New York, or all these cool places, and I liked that. And I think people actually still like that. And I first started off with food photos because I was in all my favorite Italian restaurants, and people seemed to like that. Then everybody became a foodie, and I was like, all right, I got to step out of that. And then I wrote a book about modeling, and then I did another one, Wingman, and I got a bunch of new write-ups in magazines and things, so I was always kind of dressed in a suit and dressed up, and I liked that image for a while. But then everybody thought I was that type of person, always in a suit or always this way, and I'm like, actually, this is wrong. I'm actually a guy, if I travel, I may be in a 2-3-piece suit, dressed up, but I live in Florida. So when I'm in Florida, I'm usually in shorts and a t-shirt or a golf shirt or something, and that's usually who I am. Or I'm at a gym. So I wanted to say, hey, when I built my YouTube channel, I'm going to show you exactly how I live and who I am. And I get if you don't want to do that in social media. I get that too. But I found that the more honest I was with myself in my social media presence, that could go for photos, videos, even my podcast, the more comfortable I became with my post and having confidence in everything I posted or put up. If you don't like my podcast, I dig it. You don't like my YouTube channel, I dig it. And you don't like whatever you don't like about me, I can see that. I am definitely not for everyone. I'm not even close. But I knew every time what I posted was genuine for me. It wasn't me pretending, or it wasn't me saying something. And lately I've been getting on my podcast like, Rich, one minute they were saying I was swearing a little too much, which I could give a shit either way. It was mainly some older people then. And then now I haven't been swearing too much on my podcast. I didn't do that intentionally. I just do what I feel like doing at the time I'm doing it. I don't swear because to get, people like shaken up, and I don't not swear because I don't want to offend anybody. I could care less. I just do what I feel. I talk the way I feel at that moment about that subject matter, and I think the same thing when it came to posting things. So I think we got a little bit off topic here, but not too bad. But I'm just giving you my perspective on social media now. But don't, if you want to post certain things that you think, or let's put it this way: if you have things you want to express on social media, as long as I don't think you know what I mean, it's proper and it's not something really explicit or something, give it a try, because I think a lot of us are caught in the same loop of looking the same and keep doing the same things over and over again. And sometimes I think we're expecting different results, but if you look around, it's really, everybody's kind of doing the same thing over and over again. And a lot of us are living similar lives. The other thing is, too, with a lot of our friends and family, you can't bullshit anymore because other people are posting things on what you're doing, and we kind of know what your life's about. So if you are pretending you're something you're not, I wouldn't do that. And I get a lot of people are like, fake it till you make it, especially all these guys I know in sales that sell either real estate, sell cars, sell whatever, or their business, and they're pushing all this like this and that, and I get you want to make it look great, God bless you. But just be more genuine, I think, in the long run from a social media presence. And I just think you're going to be way better off because who cares what, you can't get caught up with it if your likes, your shares, and all these different types of things, because the truth is you're confident with who you are. You don't have to worry about, something out there, because I think when we put a lot of fake shit out there and it doesn't get a response, we're kind of confused. But the truth is that's really not you anyways. So you're not getting a like on something that you're truly not who you are sometimes. So how does that even work? I'd rather be myself and get no likes than put something up phony and get 1,000 likes. That's kind of where I think sometimes it gets a little confusing for people, especially younger people. They also get confused on thinking what our friends, family members, or colleagues expect us to post all the time or expect us to like. And you know what? You got your own opinions, like I said earlier. Just be genuine with yourself, but don't emotionally let social media, and I know it's easy for me to say, but be confident in who you are. Social media is just a platform. It's almost like your little baby newspaper. You're sending out information. Sometimes people want to read about your shit. Other days they don't. That's life, right? Everyone has their own life, and everybody has to realize their life is the most important thing in their life, and that same goes for others. Hopefully I didn't get too confusing there, but that's it. You get a chance, you might want to check out my YouTube channel. Just my name, Rich CELENZA. I've been putting a lot of things up there regarding fitness more than anything lately. I'm also on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So please leave a comment or do whatever you want to do. You can, if you don't, you don't. And take care and safe travels.